right, friends, this is our final Good Friday story. We're going to walk with Jesus as we do in Stations of the Cross. So we're going to hear the story about his crucifixion. Jesus had withstood being marched about in chains, hours of angry questioning, and a beating from the Jewish officials, and being brutally whipped by Pilate's guards. The crown of thorns was still pressed into his head, sending blood trickling down his pain-filled face. 2 Roman soldiers lifted a solid wooden cross over Jesus' shoulders, so heavy that he nearly collapsed from the weight of it. Then Jesus staggered onward through the streets of Jerusalem and toward the hill outside of the city where he and 2 other criminals were being executed. Thousands of people lined the way, watching the procession. Jesus willed himself forward, heavy step after heavy step, but he eventually he crashed into the dust, utterly exhausted. The angry guards dragged a strong man from the crowd, called Simon of Cyrene, and ordered him to carry the cross instead. The people in the crowd yelled insults and spat on Jesus as he stumbled by, but Jesus caught sight of the sorrowful faces of many friends he had made too. Many of the women were weeping. "Don't cry for me," Jesus said, "but for yourselves, your children, and for the destruction that is to come." Eventually, they reached the place of execution. It was called Golgotha, meaning the place of the skull. A soldier made Jesus lie down on the cross, and long nails were hammered into his hands and feet. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing," Jesus moaned. A notice was fixed above his head which said, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews," in 3 different languages. "It shouldn't say that," some Jewish officials objected. "It should say, 'This man said he was the King of the Jews.'" But the Roman governor Pilate boomed, "I ordered it to be written just like that, and that is the way it will stay." The Jewish officials mocked as Jesus' cross was hoisted up high. You said you're the Son of God, so save yourself." As the 2 criminals were raised on the crosses on either side of Jesus, one sneered, "Yes, save yourself and save us too." "How dare you," the second thief groaned. "We deserve this, but Jesus is innocent. Lord, remember me when you reach your kingdom." "I promise you," whispered Jesus, "today you will be with me in paradise." Even though it was midday, darkness suddenly fell over the land. Close by at the foot of the cross was Jesus' heartbroken mother and his close friends, including John, Mary Magdalene, and Salome. Mother, take care of John as if he were your own son," Jesus murmured. "John, look after my mother as if she were your own." Jesus hung in agony on the cross for 3 long hours. Then he lifted his head and cried aloud, "My God, why have you abandoned me?" Somebody rushed in to lift a stick with a sponge on the end that had been dipped in wine so he could have a drink. Jesus cried out again, "Father, I give up my spirit into your hands. It is finished." And his head dropped. At that very moment, the earth rumbled and shook, and rocks split open. People said that the great curtain of the temple ripped from the top to the bottom. Others say they saw graves open up and spirits rise from them. A Roman officer at the foot of the cross looked up and gasped, "This man truly was the Son of God." So that's the end of our story for today. Now we wait. We wait until Easter Sunday when Jesus surprises us all and raises from the grave.